Ale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatyadishatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. Do the introduction. Om Jnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupang Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitangscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrikabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. That always gets me fired up. Invocation prayers. Here you go. It's so beautiful. It's good. Me too.
So we'll chant 11 verses of Sanskrit and the translations, and then we'll go back and we'll read the purports. Okay, we'll start on chapter 9, text 32. Okay, here we go. Mami partavya pashritya yepi supapayonayah striyo vaishyas tata shudras tepi yanti param gatim. O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchants, as well as Shudras, workers, can approach the supreme destination.
Kim punarbhamana punya bhakta rajasastata anityama shukyam lokam ima prapya pajasvatmam. How much greater then are the brahmanas, the righteous, the devotees, and saintly kings who in this temporary miserable world engage in loving service unto me.
Manmana bhavamad bhakto madhyaji mam namuskuru nam nevashyasi yuktaivam atmanam atparayana. Engage your mind always in thinking of me, offer obeisances and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, you will surely come to me. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports to the 9th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of the most confidential knowledge.
Text, chapter 10, text 1. The opulence of the Absolute. Sorry, text 1. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Bhuyeva Mahabaho Shinu Me Paramang Vachaha Yate Mam Priyamanaya Vakshyami Hitakamyaya. The Supreme Lord said, My dear friend, mighty armed Arjuna, listen again to my supreme word, which I shall impart to you for your benefit, and which will give you great joy.
Text 2. Name vidu suragana prabhavam na maharshayah aham adir hidevanam maharshinam cha sarvashah. Neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin, for, in every respect, I am the source of the demigods and the sages.
Text 3. Yamana jamana dimcha veti loka maheshvaram ashamuda samateshu sarvapaya parmuchati. Translation: He who knows me as the unborn, as the beginningless, as the supreme Lord of all the worlds, he undiluted among men, is freed from all sins.
Buddhir Gyanam Asamoha Kshama Satyam Dhammas Shamaha Sukham Dukham Bhavo Bhavo Bhayam Cha Bhayam Eva Cha. Ahimsam samatatastis tapodanam yasho yashaha bhavanti bhava bhutanam mata eva pratagvidaha. Intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, self-control and calmness, pleasure and pain, birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, charity, fame, and infamy are created by me alone.
We go on. We go. How much further do we go? Oh, you're looking up. I'm sorry. Where do we start? 32? 932, I think. Yeah, 932. So we stop at 8, yeah. Yeah. Let's do it. Nice. Text 6. Maharshaya saptapurve chatvaro manavastata madbhava manasa jata yeshang loka ima prajaha. Translation. The 7 great sages, and before them the 4 other great sages and the Manus, progenitors of mankind, are born out of my mind, and all creatures in these planets descend from them.
Hare Krishna. Chapter 10, text 7. Speaking Sanskrit. Etam vibhuti yogam cha mama yo veti tattvataha sove kalpena yogena yujyate natra samshayaha. Translation. He who knows in truth this glory and power of mine engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt.
Text 8. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravatate ite matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samavamvita. Translation. I am the source of all spiritual material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who know this perfectly engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts.
So now we'll go back to text 32 of chapter 9. O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchants, as well as Shudras, workers, can approach the supreme destination. It is clearly declared here by the Supreme Lord that in devotional service there is no distinction between the lower or higher classes of people. In the material conception of life there are such divisions. But for a person engaged in transcendental devotional service to the Lord, there are not. Everyone is eligible for the supreme destination. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that even the lowest, who are called chandalas, dog eaters, can be elevated by association with a pure devotee. And therefore, devotional service and guidance of a pure devotee are so strong that there is no discrimination between the lower and higher classes of men. Anyone can take to it. The most simple man taking center of the pure devotee can be purified by proper guidance. According to the different modes of material nature, men are classified in the mode of goodness, brahmanas, the mode of passion, kshatriyas or administrators, the mixed modes of passion and ignorance, vaishyas or merchants, and the mode of ignorance, shudras or workers. Those lower than them are called chandalas, and they are born in sinful families. Generally, those who are born in sinful families are not accepted by the higher classes, but the process of devotional service and the pure devotee of the Supreme God are so strong that all the lower classes can attain the highest perfection of life. This is possible only when one takes center of Krishna. One has to take center completely of Krishna. Then one can become much greater than great jnanis and yogis. This book.
I was reading in the Chaitanya Charitamrita about something like this. It was Lord Chaitanya about to go on pilgrimage to, no, not pilgrimage. He's going to go out to preach in southern India, and one of the things that, sorry, I lost my train of thought. One of the things that Prabhupada says in one of his purports is that Lord Chaitanya he looked at everyone as equal. And I can't remember exactly what it said, but he said something like, I think I wrote it down, but he said something like Lord Chaitanya looked at everyone as being equal in his eyes because they were all fit for being pure devotees, being engaged in pure devotional service. So I thought it was cool that we came upon this verse, especially the very first one that we read is talking about how there's no difference between lower class people and higher class people. It's all the same in Lord Chaitanya's eyes, and in Lord Chaitanya's eyes, Krishna's eyes. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu. So this is coming in contrast with the topics, or it's not actually in contrast, but in the mornings we've been hearing about how Prabhupada was in Chicago and they were attracted to his comments about the place of women in society. Instead of he had hatched a plan while he was on the plane. He had gotten a Time magazine, which was at that time was the most important magazine in the whole world. And in the Time magazine, it said, it was like crime, why, and what to do, right? So he was saying that now they're saying what to do, but they do not know. But this is their good fortune that they're thinking what to do about crime. That's intelligence. So he hatched this plan to speak to them about, on this point, to answer that common, or that, that article or that topic piece. And he got some traction, but some people kind of knew that he had expressed some seemingly conservative views against for gender roles, and they came to him to get him to talk about that. And of course that's good journalism, you could say. Sensationalism, right? So then he said, well, I'm ready to tell him some more. And he told him kind of a zinger that the woman takes the role as an assistant to the husband, and she becomes classified in one of the varnas according to the husband's occupation, which means that she's dependent. Her classification in society is actually dependent upon her husband's classification. So that is coming in the morning, and then this one is coming in the night. So this was actually the point. The devotees were saying, well, these rascal journalists, they didn't even let you talk about spiritual equality. But Prabhupada didn't mind because they were getting plenty of news coverage. And, you know, it's like Prabhupada can be firmly established in that, the Vedic gender roles, and firmly established in this, that spiritually there is no difference between any of the classes according to the body. There's the spiritual qualifications, which means service attitude. And what's amazing about devotional service is not dependent upon external circumstances. It's called a haituki apratiyata. It's actually has no material conditioning can contaminate devotional service. So it's unfortunate when we, as practitioners of devotional service, become frustrated, or we think that our devotional service is being limited by some external arrangements, because it cannot be limited under any circumstances, because it's not something external. Devotional service is the service attitude. It's the natural consciousness of the living entity. So under any circumstances, whether it be from Vaishya, Shudra, Striyo, or any other, which Krishna will come in the next verses, any other birth, if they are performing devotional service, meaning Mam hi partha vyapashritya, vapashritya, means particularly taking shelter. Yepi syu, he, that person, unto me, mam he actually comes unto me, right? Anyone who's taking shelter in me, even though they be of lower birth, can approach the supreme destination. Param gatim. Param gatim. So you made a nice point, Jagannath Prabhu, that spiritually everybody has an opportunity to take to devotional service, but according to the body, we cannot be blind to the bodily distinctions, but we can be indiscriminate in who we distribute the fruits of love of God to. The Panchatattva, they did not discriminate who was a fit candidate and who was not. Because like you said, everybody is a candidate. So, okay, thank you. Those were my comments. Does anybody else want to share?
So, yes, Prabhu, you rightly pointed out. Just to add on, even Prabhupada sometimes talked about the real idea of communism, because in 1960s, 70s, people on the material platform, they were looking forward for an egalitarian society. But again, the equality what they sought, that the government should take care of the people, but Prabhupada made it further and he coined the concept of spiritual communism. So that's where he took this leap forward and then gave an identity that each one of us are not these bodies, but at the level of spirit we are all equal, because bodily everyone would have different capabilities or different conditions in which one might have been brought up. But Prabhupada's side of spiritual communism is more detailed, more grounded, and it helps us see our life in the larger perspective rather than being just limited to a country, a nation, or just a caste or a creed. It goes further to accept the idea of fraternity. The real fraternity is the real brotherhood. So this is where I think spiritual communism, takes up a higher pedestal and gives us a better understanding about how even Bhagavad Gita talks about the idea of equality at the level of a soul. Yeah. Thank you.
Kim punar brahmana punya bhakta raja sasyata anityam ashukam lokam ima prapya bhajasva mam. How much greater then are the brahmanas, the righteous, the devotees, and saintly kings who in this temporary miserable world engage in loving service unto me. Purport. In this material world there are classifications of people, but after all this world is not a happy place for anyone. It is clearly stated here, anityam ashukyam lokam. This world is temporary and full of miseries, not habitable for any sane gentleman. This world is declared by the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be temporary and full of miseries. Some of the philosophers, especially the minor philosophers, say that this world is false. But we can understand from Bhagavad Gita that this world is not false. It is temporary. There is a difference between temporary and false. This world is temporary, but there is another world which is eternal. This world is miserable, but the other world is eternal and blissful. Arjuna was born in a saintly royal family. To him also the Lord says, "Take to my devotional service and come quickly back to Godhead, back home. No one should remain in this temporary world, full as it is with miseries. Everyone should attach himself to the bosom of Supreme Personality of Godhead, so that he can be eternally happy. Devotional service to the Supreme Lord is the only process by which all problems of all classes of men can be solved. Everyone should therefore take to Krishna consciousness and make his life perfect."
Text 34. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuro mame vaishyasi yuktvaivam atmanam matparayanaha. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Offer obeisances and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Purport. In this verse, it is clearly indicated that Krishna consciousness is the only means of being delivered from the clutches of the contaminated material world. Sometimes, unscrupulous commentators distort the meaning of what is clearly stated here, that all devotional service should be offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Unfortunately, unscrupulous commentators divert the mind of the reader to that which is not at all feasible. Such commentators do not know that there is no difference between Krishna's mind and Krishna. Krishna is not an ordinary human being. He is absolute truth. His body, mind, and he himself are one and absolute. It is stated in the Kurna Purana, as it is quoted by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami in his Anubhashya comments on Chaitanya Charitamrita, 5th chapter, Adilila, verses 41 to 48. Deha dehi vibhedo yam neshware vidyate kvachat, which means that there is no difference in Krishna, the Supreme Lord, between himself and his body. But because they do not know the signs of Krishna, the commentators hide Krishna and divide his personality from his mind or from his body. Although this is sheer ignorance of the signs of Krishna, some men make profit out of misleading the people. There are so many who are demoniac, those who think of Krishna but enviously, just like King Kamsa, Krishna's uncle. He was also thinking of Krishna always. He was thinking of Krishna always, but he thought of Krishna as his enemy. He was always in anxiety, wondering when Krishna would come to kill him. That kind of thinking will not help us. One should be thinking of Krishna in devotional love, that is bhakti. One should cultivate the knowledge of Krishna continually. What is that favorable cultivation? It is to learn from a bona fide teacher. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and we have several times explained that his body is not material but is eternal, blissful knowledge. This kind of talk about Krishna will help one become a devotee. Otherwise, understanding Krishna from the wrong source will prove fruitless. One should therefore engage his mind in the eternal form, the primal form of Krishna, with conviction in his heart that Krishna is the supreme. He should engage himself in worship. There are hundreds of thousands of temples in India for the worship of Krishna, and devotional service is practiced there. When such practice is made, one has to offer obeisances to Krishna. One should lower his head before the deity and engage his mind, his body, his activities, everything. That will make one fully absorbed in Krishna without deviation. This will help one transfer into the Krishna Loka. One should not be deviated by unscrupulous commentators. One should engage in the 9 different processes of devotional service, beginning with the hearing and chanting about Krishna. Pure devotional service is the highest achievement of human society. In the 7th and 8th chapters of Bhagavad Gita, pure devotional service to the Lord has been explained apart from the yoga of knowledge and mystic yoga or fructive activities. Those who are not purely sanctified may be attracted by different features of the Lord, like the impersonal Brahmajyoti and localized Paramatma, but a pure devotee directly takes to the service of the Supreme Lord. There is a beautiful poem about Krishna in which it is clearly stated that any person who is engaged in the worship of demigods is most unintelligent and cannot achieve at any time the supreme award of Krishna. The devotee in the beginning may sometimes fall from the standard, but still he should be considered superior to all other philosophers and yogis. One who always engages in Krishna consciousness should be understood to be the perfect saintly person. His accidental non-devotional activities will diminish and he will soon be situated without any doubt in complete perfection. The pure devotee has no actual chance to fall down because the supreme Godhead devotee has no the pure devotee has no actual chance to fall down because the supreme Godhead personally takes care of his pure devotees. Therefore, the intelligent person should take directly to this process of Krishna consciousness and happily live in this material world. He will eventually receive the supreme award of Krishna. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport to the 9th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of the most confidential knowledge.
So basically, this purport Prabhupada takes the time to delineate the different types of interpretations which may be there. And this verse is particularly important because the directives given by Krishna in this verse are repeated in another verse, which is unique in the whole Bhagavad Gita. He repeats the first 2 lines of this verse verbatim also in the 18th chapter. Manmana bhavamad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. So there's 4 items here. Manmana, engage your mind and always thinking of me. Mad bhakto, become my devotees. Madhyaji, worship me. Mam namaskuru, and offer your namaskar, offer your obeisances unto myself. And in the purport, our acharyas, starting with, or at least mentioned here, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami, he commented on a different verse, which we can research to find how it's connected with this verse. But basically, in the purports to Chaitanya Charitamrita that Prabhupada's guru made, he quoted this line from the Kurma Purana: Deha Dehi Vibedo Yam Neshvare Vidyate Kvachit. And it says, which means that there is no difference in Krishna, the Supreme Lord, between himself and his body. So this is exactly what the Rational commentators do, is Krishna is personally speaking on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. That's the whole premise of this book. You know, we see from the picture Krishna, Arjuna, and when Krishna says man mana, he means unto myself, or think of me. And the Rational commentators, they take this verse and they say, no, it's the oneness within Krishna that we have to think of. And therefore, Prabhupada says, they try to propose something which is not at all feasible. Where does Prabhupada say that? You see it? Yes, at the beginning. It says, unfortunately, unscrupulous commentators divert the mind of the reader to that which is not at all feasible. Right. So then they're saying, no, you have to surrender to, you have to offer obeisances and think of that unborn eternal which is within Krishna. Therefore, they fall victim of this, that they think that Krishna's body is illusion, is Maya. That's why they're called Maya Vadis. Everything, Maya Vadis, means they think everything is actually illusion. So, I just wanted to bring out some of that. And it's really important because, especially at the time, Bhagavad Gita was very famous. And one of the most prevalent Bhagavad Gitas that all the devotees had in their back pocket when they met Prabhupada, basically, was the Gita, which the rascal was talking like this. So Prabhupada, he has to hit on this stuff because the book he wrote was actually for those boys and girls which were actually coming at that time. You know, what to speak of us now who are so distracted with these different interpretations. So thank you. Sorry I took the time.
Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I think